Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Cardinal, and I'm a nurse at Upstate University Hospital and also a student at SUNY Delhi. And today we're going to be discussing a nurse staffing quality project and just an overview of what we're going to be speaking about today. We're going to be talking about the background of nurse staffing issues, how those affect patients and nurses and an organization as a whole. Also, I will explain the QUIP project, including the outcome statement, objectives. We'll go into the budget. Other topics that we'll touch on will include how this project addresses Upstate's mission, vision, and values. Talk about the sustainability of the project, how the project will be implemented and evaluated, and what the communication plan is. So the background of the problem is adequate nurse staffing. The problem is having adequate nurse staffing, and we all know that we've had a staffing shortage that has been exacerbated by COVID especially. Proper nurse staffing is essential to guarantee safe and effective care for patients, and research has shown consistently that there are increased serious patient safety event occurrences when there are an adequate number of direct care registered nurses available. This also affects hospital reimbursement from insurance companies and Medicare and Medicaid. There have been shortages documented since the 1950s. It's been an ongoing problem for years. Some of the reasons why staffing has waxed and waned over the years is supply and demand situations. Demand factors right now are increased access to health care in an aging population. And supply factors are that the aging nursing population are retiring, there's a lot of job dissatisfaction, and nurse faculty shortages. Nurses are affected by staffing shortages in many ways. If it's a floor or a unit is frequently understaffed, nurses can be affected adversely by that. They can become fatigued, dissatisfied, and discouraged, and these can lead to burnout. The dissatisfaction leads to the burnout, and then nurses leaving an organization, and some leave the nursing profession entirely. Patients are also adversely affected by short staffing. Patient care, when nurses have increased patient ratios, missed care incidences increase. And the most frequent examples of these are not walking patients, not assessing medication effectiveness, not turning and repositioning patients, doing mouth care, patient education falls behind, and medications are not given within a timely manner. And so because of these miscare events, there is a link between higher patient nurse ratios and increased mortality, as well as decreased patient satisfaction, which goes back to reimbursement, where surveys and such that are given out, patients, if they're not satisfied, may not be reimbursed by Medicaid. Ways that the organization are affected as a whole from short staffing issues is high turnover rates, losing experienced nurses, and increased costs. Increased costs are related to having to train more nurses, and if they leave, then you have to train more nurses, and it just snowballs. And also the reimbursement, again, touching on that, patients who may have a fall with injury, pressure ulcers obtained in the hospital, or hospital-acquired infections will not be reimbursed for that care. And also if patients are discharged with inadequate patient education and they're readmitted, there may not be reimbursement for that as well. The outcome statement for the QUIP is nursing staff at Upstate University Hospital will increase by 10% within 6 months. Nurse-to-patient ratios on med-surg units will decrease by 20% within 6 months. Currently, nurses on 5A are taking 5 to 6 patients, usually 5 on day shift, so we're hoping that that number can go from 5 to 4, and the same on the other shifts, between 6 to 5 on night shift. Objectives include decreasing the nurse-patient ratio on 5A, increasing the nursing staff on 5A, and promoting Upstate as a hospital that nurses want to work at and want to stay. You see the graph here shows for this project, we are asking for 1 nurse per shift, day, evening, and night shift, to pick up approximately 40 hours per week to fill in those discrepancies in staffing. This will be for a pilot of 8 weeks, and the cost based on the average nursing hourly salary plus incentive is $38,400. The quality project addresses Upstate's mission, vision, and values because the mission is to improve the health of the communities we serve through education, biomedical research, and patient care. If we are not giving the patients the best patient care that they deserve, we aren't meeting that mission. So by increasing staffing on the Unit 5A for this pilot, we'll be addressing definitely the patient care section of this mission. United in expertise, compassion, and hope to create a healthier world for all is Upstate's vision. And again, this project is being created to create a healthier environment in the hospital, get patients the care that they need, so then they can go out and live their healthy lives in the world. Upstate's value statement is: we are Upstate. We drive innovation and discovery. We respect people. We serve our community. We value integrity. So again, this quality project is addressing all of those areas. We want to be innovative, using research and information to start a project so that we can bring more nurses to the bedside, keep them there, and serve the people and respect the patients that we care for. At Upstate University Hospital, the financial cost is justified as the nursing staff are the sole provider of direct patient care, and therefore reimbursement from insurance payers is the top priority to the institution. Miscare incidences, as we spoke about before, having higher incidences of miscare shows that the patient ratios are increased. So miscare, again, turning patients, oral care, bathing, feeding, those will affect reimbursement because of patient satisfaction. And that is in addition to the more serious consequences if patients are falling, developing pressure ulcers, or, again, hospital-acquired infections. Also, nurse satisfaction is important. We touched on that before, where if you have a high turnover rate, it's going to cost a lot of money in the long run to have to continuously be training new nurses, which is about 12 weeks for a new nurse, 12 to 16 weeks at Upstate. Implementation is going to be including, I'm going to release all this information, data to the nursing department and leadership and have that sent out over email, and then talk about what this project entails, start recruiting nursing staff to sign on to this program, tell them what the incentives are, and then initiate the 8-week pilot on Unit 5A. Barriers, again, compliance with checking email. Maybe nurses may be wary of signing up for extra time and what those responsibilities will entail. It might need to float from different units and they might not be familiar. So addressing all the concerns from the nursing staff as well. After the 8-week pilot and during, we will evaluate giving surveys to staff in the program, surveys to the floor staff and managers, assessing the patients, are they more satisfied with increased staffing on the floor, and then putting that data together, maybe in a weekly, bi-weekly newsletter that can be sent out. The communication plan, again, weekly data collected, talking to patients, giving questionnaires to staff and patients as appropriate, and then compiling that data to present and email to leadership, members of the QUIP, and then the floor and staff managers, just so we can assess what is everybody doing better? Is everybody comfortable? What kind of changes we can make? And in summary, Upstate University Hospital must make the nursing department an environment that nurses want to work in and stay employed in. We need to keep our nurses, and that is one of the most important things now. Patient safety and nurses' well-being are affected by staff shortages, and introducing a staffing plan that improves patient safety, work environment, and also provides monetary compensation. Not every person is driven by money. I personally am not driven by money. I want a environment that is peaceful and effective and efficient, more than I would want money. I want a harmonious environment to work in. So if anybody has any questions, I appreciate you listening to my presentation. And here are my references. Thank you so much and have a great day.